Now we are going to see an array. What is an array? So what is an array? Arrays are arrangement of pictures and objects in rows and columns. So that means any object or pictures or arrangements. These are the arrays or arrangements. Arrays means, what is that? Arrays are arrangements. What is an array? Arrays are an arrangements. Okay, arrangements of picture and object in rows and columns. So these pictures, what are the pictures given in the book or notebook or in the blackboard or whiteboard, whatever they've drawn already. So the objects or pictures are arranged in row and column. So it's combined together. So the objects are arranged in row and column. It is called an array. I'll repeat once again. Objects or pictures are arranged in row and column. Together it is called an array. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to see an example. Again I'll repeat. Arrays are arrangements of picture and objects in rows and column. So any kind of a object, any kind of a pictures are arranged in a row and column. It is called an array. For an example, so this is 5 by 3 array showing us. This is 5 by 3 array. Let's see. Example it is, this is a triangle. So 5 into 3 is equal to what? You can get 15. So 5 into 3 is a factor and 15 is a product. That you know that. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, the first triangle, first row is, how many rows means first row, second row, third row, fourth row and fifth row. So how many rows? 5 rows, and the object is nothing but it's a triangle. So 1, 2, 3. So 3, that is 3 triangle I've drawn. So 3 triangles I've drawn. I drew how many triangles? 3 triangles in 1 row. That means one single row. I've drawn 3 what? Objects, 3 triangles. So this is the first row, this is second row. Second row also 3 triangles, third row also 3 triangles, and fourth row also 3 triangles. And fifth row also fifth row also what? 3 triangles. So in each row, how many objects? How many triangles? 3 objects. In each row, 3 objects or 3 triangles or 3 pictures. Okay. So next is column. So how many columns? 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. So I've told you very clearly, horizontal lines are called as row. Horizontal lines are called as row, and vertical lines are called as columns. Okay. Vertical line. So horizontal line is called as row and vertical line is called as columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many objects in this column? So what is this? 5 objects in 1 column, 5 objects in 1 column, second column 5 objects, third column 5 objects, first column 5 objects. So I'll repeat once again. In first row 3 objects, second row 3 objects, third row 3 objects, fourth row 3 objects, fifth row 3 objects, and 5 objects in 1 column, and second column 5 objects, and third column also 5 objects. So 5 rows and 3 columns. So horizontal lines are called as row and vertical lines are called as column. So that is what? 5 into 3 is equal to 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The product is, you can get the product. So that means how many rows? That is 5 rows. This 5 is called as rows and this 3 is called as what? Column. So row and column arranged in a row and column are arranged in a proper order. Okay, arrays are arrangements of picture and objects in rows and column. So this is a picture or this is an object. It is arranged in rows and columns. It is called an array. So how many rows? 5 rows and 3 columns are arranged in a proper order, and you can get the product. This is called as 15. So I've told you already how that is. I've told you very clearly, horizontal lines are called as row and vertical line is always called as a column. Horizontal lines are called as rows and vertical lines are called as column. So what is an array? Array is nothing but is an arrangement of an object or pictures in row and column. So 5 into 3, 15. That is 15 object is given in the particular diagram or particular diagram. So it is an array. How could you call it as an array? Because the objects are arranged in row and column. The objects are arranged in row and column. How many row in this particular diagram means 5 rows and 3 columns. So 5 rows and 3 columns. So it is arranged in a proper order, proper array. It is called an example of 5 into 3 is equal to 15. It is an array. So 5 rows and 3 columns, the product is 15, and 5 into 3 is nothing but is a factor, and 15 is a product. Next diagram. So this is also the same type. It is also arranged in an array. So 3 into 15 is equal to 3 into 5 is equal to 15. 3 into 5 is equal to 15. So in this array, so how many rows? Means 1, 2 and 3 rows. 3 rows. So how many objects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 objects. Each row 5 objects. So how many rows? Only 3 rows, but each row 5 objects are given. And how many columns? 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4 column, 5 columns. So 5 column. Each column how many objects? Only 3 objects. So each column 3 objects. So how many rows? 3 rows. Each rows 5 objects. How many columns? 5 columns. And each column 3 objects. That is what is very clearly. So how many rows? 3 rows and 5 columns. That is very clearly. So 3 rows and each row that is how many objects? Each row that is 5 pictures or 5 object. 5 object, and each column that is how many? 3 objects. 3 objects. That is what? So 3 into 5. That is 3 into 5. 3 rows and what is this? 3 rows and 5 columns. You can get 15. 3 rows and this is row and this is what? Column. You can get as a product. So 3 rows and 5 column. This is combined together as a factor, and the answer is product, that is called 15. So here also same, but this diagram mentioned 5 into 3 is equal to 15 array, and this is 3 into 5, that is 15, the same product. So this is by 5 by 3. That is what? 5 by 3 array, but this only there is 2 difference between 5 by 3. 5 into 3 is 5. This is a 5 into 3 array. This is 3 into 5 array. The product is 15. The product is 15, but this is by 5 by 3 array. That is the only thing you have to remember it. And next we are going to see any number multiplied by 1 give the same. So for example, 15 into 1 you can get 15. So 100 into 1 you can get 100. 10 into 1 you can get 10. 1000 into 1 you can get 1000. That is what? Any number multiplied by 1 you can get the same answer, same number. Okay, 15 into 1 you can get 15. 50 into 1 you can get 50. 20 into 1 you can get 20. That is what they mentioned. This is the rules. Any number multiplied by 1 give the same number. Next, same number as the product, and any number multiplied by 0 gives 0 as the product. For example, 100 into 0. This is the example 1. So this is the example for rule 1 and example for rule 2. That is rule 2. For example, I am telling you 100 into 0 you can get what? 0, and 50 into 0 you can get what? 0. That is what? Any number multiplied by 0 you can get only 0 as a product. This is a rule 2. So these are the rules of multiplication. Again I'll tell you what is an array. Array is nothing but is arrangement. Array is an arrangement of what? Arrangement of what is this? Arrangement of object or picture. Arrangement of object and pictures. The arrangement of object and picture in rows and column. It is a proper arrangement. Array is nothing but is an arrangement of an object or picture or images in row and columns. This is called an array. I'll repeat. Array is an arrangement of what? Object or pictures or images in row and column. So we are going to see an example of 5 by 3 array. So how many? That is 5 into 3 is a factor. 5 into 3 is a factor and 15 is a product. So we are going to see that is, I told you, horizontal line is called as row, and vertical line, horizontal line means row and vertical line means column. So the array is nothing but arrangement is a proper arrangement of order in row and column. So objects are pictures in a proper arrangement of order in row and column. So for example, first 5 into 3 you can get 15, that is 5 into 3 is clearly mentioned. That is how many rows? 5 rows and 3 columns. So in each row you have 3 objects and each column you have 5 objects. That is what? So 5 into 3 is 15. Here 5 rows and 3 columns. This 5 into 3 is called as a what? Factor, and this is 15 is a product. But example 2, the same one, 3 into 5, that is 3 rows and 3 rows and what? 5 columns. 3 rows and 5 columns, and 3 rows, each row you have how many objects? 5 objects, and each column you have 3 objects. That is what? 3 into 15 you can get 15. So 3 rows and 5 columns, here 5 rows and 3 columns. So anyhow the product is similar. So this 3 and 5 is a factor and this 15 is always a product. And after that, the rules of rule number 1, rule number 2 is nothing but any number is multiplied by 1, you can get the same number as a product, and any number is multiplied by 0, you can get 0 as a product. That is what I've given the example of rule 1, 15 into 1 you can get 50, and 100 into 1 you can get 100, 10 into 1 is equal to 10, and 1000 into 1 is equal to 1000. So the example of rule 2 is 100 into 0 you can get 0, and 50 into 0 you can get 0. This is the multiplication, terms of multiplication as well as the rules of multiplication. Terms of multiplication nothing but factor and product, and this is what is an array. I'll clearly explain you, and after that what are the rules and regulation also for the multiplication I clearly mention and clearly explain it. So go through once or twice.